Hey, what's up guys? We have a new Grand Hero Battle unit here. It's Garon from Fates. I'll be looking over stats, skills, pros, cons, and some build examples. At the very end of the pros and cons segment, I'll give you guys my opinion on whether or not he's worth promoting. Timestamps are going to be in the description for those that want to skip around. And without further ado, let's get started. Garon is a free-to-play Red Dragon infantry unit. He's actually our first Red Dragon Grand Hero Battle unit ever. That's really nice of Intelligence Systems to give us one for free because there's not that many Red Dragons right now. There's only 3 if we exclude Garon. The 3 are all different versions of Tiki, and they are Adult Tiki, Young Tiki, and Summer Young Tiki. I'm not going to compare all of them to Garon, but I will compare Adult Tiki with Garon just because she is the easiest one to summon out of those 3. Plus, she has the same movement type and carries a similar stat line. So comparing them side by side, you can tell that they are both very slow and pretty much made for an enemy phase type playstyle. Garon naturally has better mixed bulk. He only has 2 less defense than Tiki, but he has 8 more resistance. He won't have to invest resources into balancing out his bulk, opposed to Adult Tiki, who has to get a res boon, use warding breath, and all that jazz. Attack stat is similar, but only a 2-point difference there. Not that big of a deal since enemy phase units, as long as they have at least average attack, can all perform pretty well on enemy phase if they are built to 1-round KO using their specials. At the end of the day, Tiki is obviously more flexible in terms of build paths because of her ability to get different IVs. She also is able to get max merges, whereas Garon cannot, at least not for a very long time. So in general, Adult Tiki is still the better unit to invest in long term. However, for new players that just started, you really can't go wrong with either one. His unique weapon is Breath of Blight, 16 might, 1 range. It neutralizes effect dragon bonuses, which means Falchions, Nagas, Binding Blade, Breath of Fog, and Summer's Breath all won't deal effective damage versus him. I believe he's the only unit that carries an anti-effective dragon effect. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, but it's a strong effect to be included in a weapon. I would even say that I would rather have that than, let's say, Distant Counter, because Distant Counter is available as a skill despite it being a rare one, while an anti-effective dragon effect skill hasn't been added into the game yet. That just gives Garon more options for builds. Anyways, let's finish the rest of the effect. Basically, at the start of turn 4, enemies within 3 spaces of Garon will take 10 damage, and whatever the amount of foes that got damaged, multiply that by 5, and the result of that is the amount of health Garon restores. So for example, if 3 foes got damaged, then all 3 of them take 10 damage each, and Garon restores 15 HP because 3 times 5 equals 15. I don't know what to think about this effect. Turn 4 is quite a while. I think most of the time, at least half the enemy team is dead by turn 4. However, in Arena, let's say Garon is the only bonus unit that you have and you decide to train him up. He has a very good stat line for getting 20 kills, and usually when you're trying to 1 versus 4, it takes a while. In that situation, you can probably hit 3 enemies with the AoE effect, which will help him secure kills on foes of the opposite color, and the health restoration is great for obvious reasons. It'll keep him healthy enough to continue fighting. It's great in that regard, but for any other mode, I think it's kind of useless. It is a cool effect though. Finally, the last effect is the same old adaptive damage effect, which I'm just going to skip. Special is Dragon Fang. First of all, Ignis is the better 4-charge special. Ignis deals 26 while Dragon Fang deals 24. 4 charges work well if he doesn't have a special cooldown enhancing skill like Steady Breath or Warding Breath. What you do is give him Quick Riposte and use him versus an Expo first so he can naturally KO them with 2 normal hits and have his 4-charge special all charged up for the following player phase. If you do give him a breath skill, then Aether is pretty much the best special for him. With a breath skill, he'll be able to activate Aether on his second counterattack. His A skill is Distant Defense. Great skill for fodder, but it's not that good on him. His weapon doesn't have innate distant counter, so what's the point of giving him ranged defenses when he can't counter? He'll just give the enemy free special charges at that point. His C skill is Panic Ploy. 43 HP is not that much to be using Panic Ploy with, in my opinion. But if he's a bonus unit, then he'll receive extra stats, which includes his HP, so I guess it's fine in that regard. Again, it's a good skill for fodder, especially since it's unlocked at 4 stars. Garon is an excellent free-to-play unit for pretty much any player out there that needs a red infantry dragon. He has a very good min-max stat line. HP is over 40, and 3 of the other 4 stats are 30 and above. Speed is god-awful low, but as long as he's built for enemy phase only, then his low speed shouldn't matter at all. The main con that I have is his default set. It's garbage, and he's going to require heavy investment in order to be effective in combat. So the question is he worth promoting? And I'm going to say yes. He's fantastic for new players that need a red unit, and he's great for arena when he's a bonus unit. Like I mentioned earlier, his weapon helps chip enemies so he can secure kills easier, and the healing effect increases longevity. So for builds, like always, I'm going to start with budget builds first, then later on we'll get into the more expensive ones. This first build utilizes his default set, give him reposition or a dual rally assist skill, quick repose 2 or 3 in the B slot, and close defense 3 seal. C slot is flexible, that slot is always up to you, it depends on your team comp. This isn't really the best set since distance defense 3 is useless. It doesn't help his melee versus melee matchups at all, so if you can, I would swap out his Dragon Fang for Bonfire instead to elevate his 1-round KOing potential. This build right here is another budget set, but it caters towards new players that want to score well in arena with him. All of these skills that he has are obtainable from 4-star units, and they all score pretty well. Dual rallies and AoE specials each cost 300 SP. Distant defense 3, despite it being useless combat wise, is still good to keep for points since it costs 240 SP. Renewal and Panic Ploy 3 both cost 240 SP as well. There are seals that provide more points than Quick Repose 3, but he needs Quick Repose 3 if he wants to be able to stand toe to toe with anybody. So the idea with this set, other than for points, is to use them versus a favorable matchup first. Make sure it's a matchup where he can KO the foe in 2 normal hits in enemy phase. Then on the following player phase, he'll have Blazing Wind or Flame all charged up. He may or may not be able to one-shot somebody with it depending on the matchup, but he'll be able to deal a decent amount of damage with it. If you need to, you might have to soften up enemies with allies in order for Garon to secure the kill with his AoE special. That's an easy way to get 2 bonus kills with Garon in arena. If Garon is too low, just backpedal and wait for his health to get back to full from Renewal or from Breath of Blight before trying to take out the 2 remaining foes. So now we are getting into the more expensive builds. This build right here has Distant Counter, Quick Repose 3, and Close Defense 3 Seal. Now I picked Close Defense 3 Seal over Distant Defense 3 Seal because without Close Defense 3, he's not going to be tanky enough to fight multiple melee foes, especially since he has Distant Counter in his A slot. Plus, he deals adaptive damage versus ranged foes anyway, so he's still going to be able to survive a normal hit from a green mage and still have that potential to one-shot them. Even if he did have Distant Defense 3 seal, I doubt he can survive most red or blue mages in arena since he's guaranteed to get doubled and get hit by a special. There are some skills you can tweak around on this set. Bonfire is the better special for 1-round KOing, but Aether is better for points. It really depends on what mode you're using Garon for. Same thing with his assist skill, either go with free position for PvE modes or dual rallies for arena. This is the last build of the video. It's another build made for arena, and it's probably what I would go for if I was willing to heavily invest into Garon. I think it would be better just to keep him as a melee duelist instead of being half and half with Distant Counter. The reason is because in arena you tend to find more melee foes than ranged foes, at least for now. I don't know how much the arena meta will change with the new exclusive arena skills being released soon, but that's a topic for another video. So right now there's a lot of Dragonstone and armored units, and Garon has the perfect stat line to deal with those 2 archetypes. If you do find a team with a ranged unit, there's usually only 1 of them per team unless you are in lower tier arena, then maybe you'll find like 2 or 3. Anyways, this is one of my favorite builds for low speed, high defense units. This set gives the unit good damage with Aether procs, longevity, and guard lowers the enemy special charging rate, so that's in a sense making the unit bulkier. It also scores really high in arena as well. And to wrap things up here, let me know what build you plan to give Garon. I don't usually try to come up with super creative builds when I'm doing builds and review videos because I'm just giving you the builds that work. The creative builds that are more out of the box usually requires a cohesive team, and I don't cover team skills in these videos since that's kind of difficult to do without taking up too much time. So instead, hopefully you guys can share some creative builds for Garon in the comments below. I'm sure everyone would appreciate that. Again, if you missed it earlier, I did say he's worth promoting a 5-star, especially if you like a bonus unit next season. And that's going to be it for this video. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.